back to the channel. Rod here with Self-Educated Entrepreneur. Before we get started, if you could do this channel a favor, like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow and get it out there. So I want to have some talking points today, and that is the legalize of slavery with this new CBDC. And I am going to show you some of the past to the present and how they did it over 120 years ago to how they're now doing it again. So back in, and I picked up on this. I watched this gentleman give a history, and the history was West Virginia in the coal mines. And Peter Santenello, his channel, I'm going to put a link in the description to his channel, to the two videos that he did there in Eastern Kentucky covering the coal mining industry from the 1800s and the 1900s. But in the 1800s, the coal mining companies, they would set up, you know, when they set up to mine the coal out of the mountains, they would have, you know, a local town where the company store, and they would provide all the housing for the employees. So what these companies did was they made their own currency. They didn't use the US currency of any type. And there was a lot of immigration coming in those days. If you can think, knowing your history, like the gold rush in California, there was a lot of Chinese people coming across the pond there, coming to California and mining gold for companies. Well, the same had been said there in West Virginia. A lot of immigrants, a lot of people flocked to, you know, basically have a job, make an income, get housing provided. So what the companies did was they made their own currency. They made coins the size of a quarter. And that quarter, they would punch a hole in it. That hole could be a letter A. It could be the shape of a moon, whatever it was, to designate that that was their currency for that particular company. Now, the kicker was that currency could only be used at the company store. So if you needed the general store, the grocery store, or any, you know, food and serviceable items, that's all that could be spent on. You couldn't take that currency, step out of town to the next town or the next or out of state and go take a vacation or something, or move away. That currency was no good. It wasn't recognizable anywhere else but within that town that that company operated in, that provided the currency. So that's how they kept the people from, I want to say, draining away, stuff like that. Is that, you know, hey, we give you this currency, we provide the goods and services for you, and we provide you housing, you know, and you just pay back through that coinage. So that's how they just kept control of the people and the population. So going forward, we are starting this week with the Fed Now, which is the CBDC. Two of the same. There's no difference. It's Fed Now is the CBDC. So Fed Now is just a platform for you to do the transactions with. But the CBDC now is going to be, it is centralized. And when I say centralized, it's programmable. They can track it. They can tell you what you can and can't use it on. You're going to see where I'm going with this already. But let's make an example. Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is decentralized, which means they can't track it. You can use it if someone else will accept it on whatever, and the government can't see what you're buying or tell you, you know, that you can't buy that with it, because they have no way of turning it on and off. That's where the central digital currency is going to be. It's going to be programmable to the point they'll be able to turn it on, turn it off, and they'll be able to program it to what you can buy. Now, let's put a pin in that. Now, let's go over here to Bill Gates and the global elitists, Klaus Schwab, Larry Fink, George Soros. These gentlemen are land grabbing everything. In America, Bill Gates is the largest land holder across the nation, farmland and such. You look at the Netherlands, the Dutch farmers, the government has come in and said you need to surrender your land, No more farming ever, and they're doing away with farming, and they're just going to use all that farmland for housing and development for immigrations and all that stuff. Now, where is all this going, you say? What they're going to do is, the elitists, these big boys with their money, are going to build food processing plants. And they say processing, it's not, they're going to ban, they're going to put on this digital currency in due time, they're going to ban beef, chicken, and all that natural food stuff that we've grown to eat. And they're going to say, hey, we're going to give you this gelatin food like tofu, spam, whatever, and this is what you're going to eat. And this is all you can buy with that digital currency. So they're going to provide grocery. You watch, at some point they're going to monopolize and control all the grocery stores. They're going to control all the food processing plants. And this is like that company store. You had one company store in the town. You went there, you took you got a voucher for the hours you worked, what they were going to pay you for, and then you got your coinage, and you took your coinage and you divvied it out to how much you need for at the general store on goods or services. So they're going to do that with this digital currency. They're going to tell you what you can and can't do. And if you say, no, I don't want to do that, they're going to get you on the back end of that. Now, how's that? Social credit score. So the credit rating, the credit bureau that you are used to having, like if you have an 800 score or 700 score, that's going to get done away. That's going to be gone bye-bye. And they're taking away all this little by little, piece by piece. So this isn't just going to shut off and happen overnight. Like people, these millennials and Gen Zs just piss me off to no end, because it's a slow burn process. This is going to happen. When you look back 5 and 10 years from now, you're going to say, oh shit, it was a good time back then, when it was actually a bad time, because it's going to get worse. So, but yeah, the social credit score is, oh, you bought a gas car instead of an electric car. Well, that drops your credit score because they see that through your digital currency. So then your social credit score goes down. Oh, you didn't put solar panels on your house, how dare you? Your social credit score goes down. So that's how they're going to judge you, is through your social credit score. So it's a judgment on you as a human being by these global elitists. Now you say our constitution would never allow that to happen. They are going to throw that thing away. I promise you, unless you stand up and fight for everything that's on that piece of paper, on the Constitution and all the amendments and the bills, they're just going to wad it up, throw it in the trash can, and laugh at you, because they know you won't come after them. You know you won't stand up against the United States government. They know you won't go and dethrone all these politicians, because America is weak. And you say, oh, I'm not weak, I go to the gym, I work out. No, you are weak. You will not stand up and give up your comfortable life for what's more is your sovereign rights, your civil rights, your rights as a human being to not be enslaved by these global elitists who are going to control and manipulate and tell you what you can and can't do. And even through the pandemic, and I'm going to tell you, that Constitution is really going to get thrown away, because the World Health Organization is even coming after the Constitution by setting a treaty that they're going to have another pandemic by the summer of 2024. And with that pandemic, the World Health Organization wants to come in and say the government and the military has nothing to do. The World Health Organization is going to come in and they're going to say, you are on lockdown, you can't leave your house. If you leave your house, you will be jailed, fined, you will be incarcerated, just like they did in Australia. They put these people in concentration camps, just like the Nazis did to the Jews. This is going to happen to us through the next pandemic. They're going to lock us down, and then they're going to say, sit home, be good little peasants, and we'll throw you a little UBI, universal basic income, because that's what they're going to do. These people that are getting checks, as they would say back in the 1800s, or even now in West Virginia, they call them checks, but people that are getting Social Security, disability, to welfare, food stamps and all that, they're just going to get a UBI. And that's going to be the federal government giving those people a standard level of income every month. Well, who's paying for that, you may ask? Well, You and I are, because they're just going to roll it up into our inflation, our taxes and everything, roll it up in more bonds and treasuries and our future generations. Right now, all the bonds and all the taxes and the interest on this the government debt of, what are we at, $32 trillion, it's all rolled up into these bonds. It's going to take, what'd they say, 3 or 4 generations. I want to say like 200 years. It's going to take about 200 to 300 years for this inflation to get, in the interest of it, I mean, this national debt, the national debt ceiling getting raised, but the national debt and the interest on it will take up to 300 years to pay it back. So this is future generations having to pay for today. So think about that. I'm going to give you one last thing before I sign off here, and that is start looking for other means of media, of information. Stop listening to mainstream media, your CNBC, your Fox, your television. If you're turning it on and turning on news to get your news off the television, you have dumbed yourself down. You are dumber now today than you were yesterday, because they're giving you a false narrative and propaganda, because they want to lead you. It's warm, it's fuzzy, this is fine, everything's going to be fine, because that's how they're going to spin this CBDC. Is they're going to spin this as a convenience, as it's good for all, and cash is bad, and it's dirty, and it's got germs on it. And I'm going to tell you, to all the people, well, all my stuff, how do you get away from this? Get out of debt. Get out of debt to where you don't own the banksters anything. And to go into debt anymore is almost going to be like, you should be looked down at, is taking loans from the bank. And well, how do we get this? You need to save. You need to find ways to stash your money that you make off to the side. And I know ways of doing it. I'm already starting to do it, and I'm not going to reveal that here, but there are ways that you can hedge money into a safe asset that's tax-free going in, tax-free coming out. If I said that enough, you should know where I'm probably putting my money. So, and then I can pull it out and distribute it into other investments, income producing assets. But I don't touch the stock market. It is so volatile that it's like taking in the 1800s, taking nitroglycerin over a bumpy road. It is going to implode or explode at any time, and people are going to lose a lot of money. Things are already free falling now on the CMBS, the commercial mortgage-backed securities and all that. But just hedge yourself, get out of debt, do only your needs and not wants. And like I said, give up something to get further ahead. I look at, how can I make more money? Not that, oh shoot, I've lost hours or I got laid off, I need to sell things. It's not that. A thing from Bob Proctor was this: why give up your house, your car, and all this? Go out and get a job that pays more. Well, jobs are getting scarce. The jobs are out there. The coal mine, and I'll put that link to the video, the coal mining industries, even they're starting in the $30 an hour range, where 18-year-old kids with just a high school education can go in and make 6 figures a year easily. So there's jobs out there, but you don't want to do it because you don't want to work hard and get dirty. But there's jobs out there to make good money. So find a way to make more money. And if your job is steady and moving along at 40 hours, then find a side hustle. But that's what I'm doing. And I'm just looking at making more money, because right now you need to clear to buy a $430,000 house. The average, you need to be comfortable buying that's the medium house price right now in the US, and you need to have around $166,000 to comfortably afford and maintain the payments on that house. Who's rolling on that right now? What's the percentage of people making that, when the average income per year is like 50,000, between 50 and 60,000 a year is the let's say 50, 55 is the median income right now. And I thought that was great money 20, 23 years ago, coming into 2000s. Guess what? I'm making 6 figures a year, and it's still not all that comfortable. It's getting me by, but I want to do a little bit more. If I can make 50% more than what I'm making right now, I'll be sad. I will be ideally above where I need to be. But until then, I'm going to keep hitting at it and growing my businesses and doing the best I can for the company I drive semi for. So until next time, folks, stay safe, continuing educating yourself, and I'm going to put some links down here to let you folks click into some areas of media that's going to help you be more in the know than just getting the propaganda from the mainstream media. Until next time, self-educated entrepreneur.